Welcome to another live stream appointment of today's communicators. I'm your host, Kris Reichert, and we are multi-streaming right now to Facebook Business, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So welcome anyone joining the live stream, and also welcome to anyone who is going to be watching afterwards the recording. So today's topic is really exciting. We're going to be talking about something that I'm very interested in, why women today have an amazing opportunity to step up. And in the broadcast studios with me, I have a very special guest. She's an amazing woman. She is a B-Corp leader and also tech leadership coach, which specializes in helping women in tech. Let me please welcome Sarah Needham. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Kris. Nice to see you today.
Yeah, nice to see you too today. How are you doing? Oh, we've got some messages already.
Good. It's always fun when we come online together.
Yes, it is. It is. And we haven't necessarily done a live stream appointment before, but we have gone live on sessions in the past. So we know each other, and I know your amazingness, and I can't wait to just dive into the topic today. There's going to be a lot to discuss. Now, first off, what would you say would be the most important thing for you in this line of work that you do, in your business, in coaching, and helping women today that are in tech and that are dealing with overwhelm? What would be the most important aspect for you in your business?
I look to help everyone shine, but shine in your own unique way. I so often say that, people seem to hide behind these cloaks of invisibility. And as they go up an organization, they often feel like they're getting squashed and squashed and squashed. And actually what we need to do is like take off the cloaks of invisibility and be brave, be bold, and, create change in the world through having courageous conversations. And this is super important if we're going to create a more sustainable future for life on Earth. We need to be able to, each of us, step into that, our unique contribution that we can make. And so it's really important for me that women especially can step up in leadership, but actually in general, we can create more inclusive environments for everybody to thrive, for diverse teams to thrive, because this is what's going to shift from where we are today to actually being able to create tomorrow, is actually enabling people to have brave conversations, enabling them to hear opposing views, and creating that space for all of that to occur within day-to-day business. Because at the minute, there's an awful lot of people or a lot of businesses that actually are really struggling to engage people. You see the Gallup stats that actually 20% of people are actually engaged at work. And, it's shocking. What a waste in the world in terms of energy and motivation from the people that actually can create the change that we all need to be able to create a future.
That's so interesting, Sarah, because you're hearing more and more these days. A lot of times we're hit with all of these ads, people talking about that level of dissatisfaction, living the 9 to 5, working in offices, and really kind of like sacrificing, let's just say, our state of mind and our energy and our well-being just by giving it to an office job that we're not happy doing. Whereas I love the fact that you're not the one saying, leave your jobs, become an entrepreneur. You're the one saying, find a balance, maintain what you're doing, and start loving it. Like enjoy every day, and really find a way to be balanced in even doing a job that is, an office job 9 to 5. But there's so much satisfaction if we're feeling the intent, and if we're feeling, we're putting ourselves, we're stepping up to the plate, and we're committing to making each day matter. That's just awesome. Yeah. That's great.
I always say there are 3 things that women in tech, but also pretty much anybody, needs to be able to thrive at work. The first one is, a passion for what they're doing. So this alignment to either the business or what the vision of the business is, and the values that the company stands for. The second thing is kind of this growth mindset, being, having the self-confidence in themselves to really shine. And the third one is having the support and network within the business and the community to support you when things are tough. So those are 3 things. And like you said, maybe the role you're in is fine. Maybe actually it's about how you're showing up. But maybe there's something else. There's a bigger calling for you within your organization. So maybe there's a way to step up within your organization. Right. Or actually you recognize that number one doesn't work and I'm not really aligned to what the business is trying to do. And therefore, maybe I need to step out to be able to create that impact, to be able to have more fun and work.
Excellent. Yes. And what about the decision to become a B Corp? The certificate. I mean, where did that come from? How did that stem from, or what did it stem from?
Yeah, I mean, I've very much built a values-driven business. And this was important to me because it really shows what I stand for. The three things that are important to me are sustainability, like I said, creating a more sustainable future for life on Earth, and my contribution to creating that. So holding myself accountable to that. But for me, that also includes equality, being able to have, eye-to-eye conversations with people being able to have a conversation around a table where there's no right, there's no wrong. It's about exploring, discovering. So equality is really key to be able to create this. And the third thing is the leverage of technology. Obviously, I'm a techie. I'm actually an engineer. So this is super important to me, is, how we bring those three things together. And I think there's a real power behind the potential of technology if we can help ambitious tech businesses, create new opportunities by putting inclusive leadership at the heart of innovative technology. So creating the B Corp was, for me, the way to actually do what I'm trying to get others to do. Hold myself and the business I'm growing responsible to the highest standards of integrity, or the highest standards of sustainability, the highest standards of equality, to really almost put my money where my mouth is and create something that creates impact.
Oh, it's so inspirational, Sarah. I just love hearing you speak. I always say that it's like listening to a story. There's just so much color and it's so dynamic when you talk, and you have such poise. But also hear you speak such important and just absolute, just high value, high services, and really committing to that. It's just it's so inspirational. So hats off to you for that. Now, why do you think these days there is such a growing demand for what you're doing? I mean, you're seeing a lot of women that are coming to you in what kind of a state are they coming to you in, and why is there this growing demand for what you do?
I think there's two things going on. Firstly is, like I said, there's a real disengagement in work. And a lot of people, I think this is partly when you get to sort of end 30s, early 40s, all the things that you've been striving for up until now, which may be a certain salary, maybe it's a certain job title, maybe it's a certain standard of living, all of a sudden that kind of reduces on the importance. You realize there's something bigger, there's something more. But alongside that comes this guilt of wanting more, this feeling that, I'm really well off. I should be grateful for everything that I've got. So these kind of come into play together, and actually can cause quite a disturbance with a lot of people, where they feel like there's something else, or there should be something else. They want something else, but they're scared to go ask for it. So you've got that side of it. And then you've got the other side, which is all the statistics that show that about 66% of women just don't see the next step in their current company. And if that's true, and the other side of that is 39% are still thinking that gender bias is playing a significant role in the fact that they might not get the next promotion, then all of a sudden you get into this, what am I contributing? How can I move forward? And people feel stuck. And then you put onto that the unconscious bias that women get kind of subjected to almost every single day, all these minor things. And this is why women quite often feel like they're on a tightrope as they go further up an organization, like almost like they get smaller and smaller area of where they can be comfortable. And unless they can really step in and be brave and be bold and really own who they are and be okay with being different, then it gets really uncomfortable for a lot of people at that stage.
That's so interesting, becoming comfortable in a state of being uncomfortable. And I know for a fact, you've got a very interesting story. Your background and your experiences are very fascinating, which have led you to do what you do today, almost by being bold and by turning around your life experiences to work for you as opposed to working against you. So what is something about you, Sarah, that people don't know? Tell us something about you.
I guess this all started quite a few years ago when I was in Rolls-Royce, and I was a female leader, fairly visible within the organization. And actually, when my husband and I got married, then I started miscarrying. And at the same time, I was trying to keep myself on a par at work, not let people know what was going on, which put a lot of stress, additional stress onto me. And actually, we ended up after kind of 6 or 7 miscarriages saying, right, we're going to adopt. And we adopted our first child very quickly. In fact, in Germany, it happens overnight. Literally, we got a call one morning. I'm the overnight mother, so to speak. And so I was gone from the business from one day to the next. All of a sudden, I didn't recognize that meant that when I reappeared after 12 months of parental leave, I've got infertility issues written on my forehead.
Oh,
and
man.
This was a bit of a wake-up call, because all of a sudden, within a week of being back at work, I had loads of people putting meetings in my diary. Sarah, you'll understand what we're going through. Sarah, can I talk to you about this? People I didn't even know. And I realized the power of actually trying to be a bit more open. Yes, it's not something you want to be discussing at work every single day. And there's a real power of being vulnerable, of sharing a bit more, rather than like I was doing, kind of clamming up and trying, being ashamed of what was actually happening. So this was my kind of what you might call my first awakening, that actually there is a power in being able to be yourself, even when you're feeling vulnerable. And I don't mean going and sharing like I do. I'm quite okay with this now. But, I couldn't have done it back then. But what then happened was, after we adopted our second daughter, I ended up, when she was about 3 or 4, I had my mum with dementia in the UK. So she was living with dementia, which was very stressful for all of us children.
Yes.
I had my husband traveling a lot. I had 2 young girls who had adopted and wanted to be the best mother forever, and a fairly high-powered job. And actually what happened was, one morning I woke up and I had a temperature, and that temperature didn't go away for about 4 months. So I was going through burnout. And
wow.
During that time, my mum actually died of dementia in the UK quite suddenly. And it was a wake-up call to me, to really look at my life, take responsibility for the fact that, yes, everyone, I felt like I should be grateful for what I've achieved, but it wasn't making me happy. And actually step into creating something new. So I walked away not knowing what I was going to do. And I actually kind of almost wish I'd have had me at that point to help me figure this out, help me understand how I could use my strengths. Because I'd actually got to a point of thinking that my strengths were my weaknesses, because they were what made me different. And it meant that I didn't fit in. And this caused a lot of stress within my body, within kind of how I showed up on a day-to-day basis, which meant I couldn't always step into creating real value for the company or for myself. I wasn't creating or maximizing my contribution because I was almost scared of having discussions. I was scared of saying what I thought, although there was nothing in the company that they'd done to kind of encourage that. It was just how I felt like I wasn't able to be me. So this is why it's so important for me to help other people. Because honestly, if anyone had told me on that first day of burnout, you're going to be grateful for this in 2 years' time, I think I probably might have got quite physical at that point. But actually, that's what happened. And that's often what happens, is the things that we find the most difficult are the things that change us, the things that grow us, the opportunities in disguise that we've almost been waiting for.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you think of some of the biggest success stories from huge celebrities, and they talk about these huge, massive, pivotal moments where there was a distinct, from before that point in my life and after that point in my life. And there's a certain level of intention involved in making that choice as to, what are you going to do with this? Are you going to use that to become a victim and to wallow in self-pity and to say, oh, if only that didn't happen to me, my life could have been and would have been. But instead, if we use these opportunities and we see them, it's not always easy while it's happening, but definitely in retrospect, we have this massive opportunity to really embrace our trauma, our, the blessings in disguise, that cliche statement, but the things that at the time don't look to be something that's going to really allow us to excel into becoming at our full potential, becoming who we are today. And I suppose it's easy to say, if that hadn't have happened to me, I wouldn't be here now, because who knows where we would have been. But needless to say, if we're able to turn that around and become stronger, whatever doesn't kill us makes us stronger kind of thing, then hey, that's what life's all about, right?
Yeah, but I see this as a massive kind of issue in the corporate world, is it's almost still being championed that we're working ourselves into these positions of burnout. If you look at the stats, even since Corona, the number of people going through burnout because we're taking on too much, the speed of life is increasing, and we're expecting that we can do everything and be good at everything all of the time. And yet when we focus on everything, obviously we're focusing on nothing. So trying to help people actually almost re-baseline. Who am I today? What's important to me? How do I go achieve that rather than trying to achieve everything?
Right. Recalibrate, definitely. So if you take a look at the world today and you look at society and how the systems are made up, or the corporate world, or women in tech, what would you say is one thing that really bothers you? Is there something that disturbs you that you don't particularly like?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things as a coach, when you go down this journey, there's a lot of things that suddenly appear to you that actually almost kind of become clearer the more or the further along your journey that you go. And the one thing that's very prevalent to me today is that we need to change. We need to evolve what leadership looks like, because we're seeing too much in the world of people who are trying to create power over people, lead by scarcity, lead by fear. And actually, I truly believe that we want to empower people. We want to create power with people, to share, to elevate each other, to win together.
Yeah.
And actually, the goal is to create a more sustainable future for life on Earth. And everything that we are doing today has got to try and shift that needle to do that. So if we can all step into our unique superpowers, as you might want to call it, what are our strengths? What's important to us? And what has our life story brought us up until now? If we can actually get really clear on how we speak about that openly, and also then are willing to listen to other perspectives, then, we can shift this. But I think the last, year has really shown that this power struggles at all levels, with it, politics, businesses, communities, is damaging our human potential to go out and make positive change.
Absolutely. Wow. You said it. Absolutely. So instead, taking things and putting it in on a positive note, what's something that really instead lights you up?
Lights me up is a lot. I get excited by a lot in life.
Choose one. Choose one thing that really lights you up.
When, for example, I love working with my clients, and when I see them come back and I see the change that they can create, when they come back and say, I just didn't know I'd be able to do this. Didn't know I'd be able to go out and create this. I didn't know this job was available. And all of a sudden I've got someone, knocking on my door, offering me a job that fits for me. When they recognize they've got power in an organization from being just who they are, without trying to kind of force other people to do what they want, but actually through enabling other people. And I truly believe that when you speak to pretty much anybody, when you get down to actually what's really important to them, it's about making a positive change. It's about leaving some kind of positive legacy in the world. And yet they don't always realize that actually the way they're showing up in the world maybe isn't in line with creating what it is they actually want to achieve. So enabling them to bring kind of the doing and the being together, the actions aligned to who they are and what's important to them. That's what makes me shine.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It came to mind immediately, the book Power versus Force. forcefully pushing your way through something, or instead being powerful in letting yourself just step into that flow state where you just naturally
Not a
are.
book I'm aware of, so I need to go and have a look at that.
Oh, yes. It's not, it's a book that was written quite some time ago, but it's an incredible book nonetheless. And yeah, it just makes me think of when, that beautiful state, you can feel it, you can sense it when you are in alignment with what you're doing, when you don't have to barrel forwards, and when everything isn't a fight and a struggle. It's not like work hard to get the satisfaction. It's just happening easily. It's being in that flow state, and then opportunities happen and doors seem to open, and you meet the right people, and before you know it, you're there in absolute alignment with that purpose-driven life that you could be living. Yeah, absolutely. And I always love to, well, we're reaching kind of the end of the live stream interview with you, Sarah, but I always love to end with an inspirational quote. Do you have a quote that is relevant to your business and is a quote that you particularly love?
Well, there's something which I quite often speak about in businesses, is the fact that businesses are so scared of emotion within their business. And, there are some emotions that are fully acceptable, anger, or, getting angry about something and potentially even raising your voice. But as soon as it gets onto the softer emotions, people get scared. People don't know what to do. And yet what I try and show people is that actually emotion shows that your employees care about what they're doing. It shows that they're invested. So emotion is energy in motion. And if you let it go, it flows. But if you try and stop it, if you try and, prevent it, either personally or within, whatever meeting you're in, actually it causes a blocker. And that blocker doesn't go away. And what starts as a small blocker, increases over time. And so this is where you can unlock your organization, allow emotion into the conversation.
Fantastic. Emotion is emotion in action. Energy in motion. Emotion is energy in motion. Absolutely love it. Sarah, if people are interested in finding out more about your coaching program, where can they reach you?
LinkedIn's always a good place to start. You can search me there, and I've got a business page. I've got my own personal page where I'm always trying to challenge, trying to create a conversation, trying to, agitate a little bit.
Yeah.
And obviously my website too.
Which is?
www.unique-u.de.
.de, because you are in Germany. You are from the UK originally, but you are located in Germany. I'm Canadian originally, but located in Italy. So we're kind of like we're covering all maybe continents and countries, but very international.
At least we're not trying to speak different languages today.
Exactly. Until you start hearing me talk. Oh yeah, because you speak German, of course, and I speak Italian. So we're just keeping it real today. Sarah, thank you so much. This has been a fabulous conversation. You are always on video. I see you, I'm a video communications coach. So on LinkedIn, you've really taken that to the next level, because every day I see you're posting new video content, and you're really driving the whole power of video forward in order to drive your business forward. So hats off to you. Thanks for having the time here, and keep continuing to shine on video.
Thank you, Kris. And thank you so much for all the support you've given me with getting the video and giving myself a lot more confidence to just be me, which is obviously what I try and help my clients to do too.
Lovely. All right, Sarah, you take care.
Take care.
And we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody following the live stream, and bye to everyone who's watching the recording. We will see you soon for another appointment of today's communicators. Ciao for now.